Tonight, live from Virginia Beach, Virginia, podcasting all things musical from Southeast Virginia. Our sound, our songs, our artists, and our business. Welcome to SEVACAST with hosts Tom Farley and Alton Riddick. Let's get talking.
Thanks, Alton, for a nice introduction. Today we have a really interesting band to talk about. These men have been around for quite a while, have been playing, put out excellent recordings, write excellent songs, and are really quite, I guess you could say, an acoustic rock institution in and of themselves, but unique because most of the people in the group are in the military. So therefore, just making sure they can even get together and jam or put together an album or perform sometimes is problematic. But through all of that, they have made a really big impression on me and all of our listeners in terms of the quality of their songwriting and their sound. It's the Dan Jarboe Band, and today I'm speaking with Dan Jarboe himself and Billy Lee Williams. So how you guys doing?
Good. How about you?
It's not bad. Basically, I'm trying to deal with the change in the weather. I'm looking at spring, and it's trying to come through, but it just, got a little cooler this morning. But I think it'll make its way through next week. I don't know.
Yeah, man. Let's hope so.
Well, let's get started here. We have a set of questions, as most people know who've listened to SEVACAST before. We'll start with them and see where it takes us. So, Dan, when did you begin your journey as a musician, a songwriter? Where did it all start?
When I was in high school, we started writing rap songs, and I didn't realize that I had any gift. I don't even want to put it as a gift, but he would tell me dude, you can write, bro, and you can write. I was like, all right. I would just put words on paper and just saying things that I wanted to say. And, but I realized that wasn't who I am, and it was fun. It was fun in high school, write some rap songs, and we would hang out in his bedroom, and, he had a 15-inch speaker in his bedroom. I swear to God, he would turn this thing on, and I'm like, dude, how cool is this, bro? It was just boom, boom, boom. I was like, dude, I don't know if you're cool with it, bro. I'm cool with it, But that's kind of where I kind of started, and then it kind of progressed from there, honestly.
Well, Billy Lee, do you do any songwriting for the group?
Most of my contribution is on the music side.
Okay.
And I'll throw in a word every now and then in the lyrics, or an idea, for a song. I'll come up with a title and say, "Hey, man, what can we write to this?" And there's quite a few songs that we've written and recorded that came about that way.
How'd you get started on a guitar?
Oh, wow. My uncle mostly. Back when I was young, he played acoustic, and going over to visit him, hearing him play, things like that, it started my interest. But when I was around 9 years old, my mom saw that I had an interest in music, and she bought me well, I don't think she bought it. Somebody gave her. It was an old Sears Silvertone hollow body. Had 2 strings on it. And we rigged it up to play through the stereo.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't afford to buy an amp or anything like that. So that's technically where I started. She'd put on albums, Three Dog Night or Led Zeppelin or stuff like that from back in the 70s. And, I would jam along with them as a 9-year-old could,
Yeah.
And, and then later it progressed, my uncle, and got into playing because of just having that impression of hearing what he played. Yeah. And my entire life it's been wanting to create, not copy, not be a cover band, but to create. And that's pretty much where I've tried to stay.
And if I could chime in real quick, Tom, the reason I think Bill and I have got this close musically is because we both had the same thing, same vision. We want to create versus cover. And we understand, like, you go play gigs, you got to have cover songs. Like, if you want to get in the bars, you want to get in the club, you got to have cover songs. But we want to create. And so what he just said is exactly why I think he is sitting on my couch right now.
Understood. I mean, I empathize completely. That's a big part of the reason why I got into it myself. So basically, where does the musical inspiration come from? Where does the song inspiration come from? I mean, you have to pull from something. Is it personal experience or what exactly, where do your songs come from?
Well, what's funny is at two totally different ends of the spectrum between Dan and I. And the way they come together is what you hear in our music. Like, my background is rock and roll, metal, and blues, and a little bit of southern rock. And Dan, yours is
90s country.
The 90s country. And we take his writing style and my playing style, and what you hear on our albums is the result.
Well, it's a great blend. I mean, however you all evolved into that, that's a real special thing. Groups that have that kind of, collaboration understand what you're saying. And for those who don't, when you arrive there, it's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'll tell you something, Tom, if you don't mind, like, if you live in Hampton Roads, you drove down 264 at some point heading towards the oceanfront. And 2016, I just got back from school. And if you jump off on Rosemont Road, there's always a group of homeless people sitting right there. And it was Christmas time, man, and I felt it. I felt it. I was just so not sad per se, you know what I mean? But
I understand.
But I was kind of sad, and that's it. Played track 3 on the Woodshed project. It's called Hopeless Prayer, and that's where it came from. Like, I pulled up and I got to the light, and I was just like, oh man, it affected me, and so I wrote Hopeless Prayer, and then Billy always does the cool stuff. With our songs, you know what I mean? Like, I just get to write like the chords and the lyrics, and then he does the cool stuff, Like, but that affected me that day.
Well, I mean, I listen to your lyrics and the way that you all sing, especially with the harmonies and stuff like that. There's a very emotional element to what you all do. But you make it work because you do it so well together. That's the neat thing.
Thank you. And, it's good to hear that you get that impression, because it's exactly what we try to present. We want people to feel the music and the song. And if it's invoking, an emotional response, then, yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, you definitely are hitting the nail on the head with everything that you all do. It comes across really, really well.
Thank you.
As far as, the entire process over the years, I know that I could not have done what I've done without the support of Tanya and my circle of colleagues and friends and so forth. So where do you guys get the encouragement? Where did you all get the backing and the support to really, get your original creative aspects off the ground?
Send it. So, all right, I'll take this one. So, our families have been there day one and day now. Absolutely, day one and day now. Now I will tell you, high school with Dawn.
Dawn, yeah.
Dawn Weatherby.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, she has been, Dawn Weatherby and her husband, Bobby, have just been there from day one. His son-in-law has been there, his daughter from day one. It's the craziest thing.
The friends and family support have been pretty strong.
Yeah. It's absolutely the craziest thing. Like, what? Like, who are we? You're
the Dan Jarboe band, man.
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
It's crazy, man. They've been there since literally day one. And we used to play down at 8th Street and Atlantic. That was one of our first kind of gigs. And
the Hub is what it was called. Yeah. The Hub.
And his son-in-law would show up, and they would come 20 deep.
Yeah.
And then always want to feed us shots of tequila. Like, dude, you know how many lyrics I have to remember, bro?
Yeah, they would bring a ton of their friends, between my son-in-law Ben and my daughter Heather. They would bring as many as their friends as they could get to come out to our shows.
Will this be one hell of a ride? It's been one hell of a ride. I need a nightcap, big cigar to make it through the night. Barkeep, pour me something strong. Keep 'em coming all night long. Till my poker hand folds and my money runs dry and I sell my soul again. Barkeep, pour me something strong. Keep 'em doubles all night long. Till my mind gets right, red fills my eyes and I'm born again. Yeah, they knew a little something about whiskey back then. So let's ride. We're gonna ride until that sunset.
So in the long process of evolving to where you are right now, you had to start somewhere. So basically, what made you decide to do one of the most important things I think that a musician can do in his career is to decide to record your first album? Who's going to be there with you? Where'd you do it? Why did you do it?
My turn. So, Tom, I have to tell you first. So, I lived in the same neighborhood as Billy. And his daughter, Taylor, she was 9. My daughter was 7. And she was down at my house. And I just, being dad, I was just listening. And she goes, we can't go to my house. And I was like, what? And so I went to the girls and I was like, why can't you go to your house? She's like, well, my dad's playing guitar. I was like, oh, okay. And we all three walked down about 6, 7 houses down, and there you go. I took it as she was. I thought maybe there was something wrong, or I didn't know. And so walked down, and I think you and I started jamming that day.
Yeah, we had a quick conversation, and he's like, "Hey, you mind if I come down and jam for a while?" I said, "Hell yeah, come on."
Yeah.
And at that time, I was like, "I'm not much in the country, but we'll see what we can do."
Yeah.
So, but that's getting together. What about your first album?
Well, once we started jamming, Dan had this one song that he had written. And he came to me and said, "Hey, what do you think of this song?" Which one was it? Was it
Mama?
Was Mama? Okay, I was trying to remember if it was Mama or Fine Old Man. But yeah, so he started playing it, and we got through it, and we really liked what each other was doing with it. And then I just said, "What do you think about recording it?" And I had a little setup at home. little board and some recording software, and we recorded it in that, and it just kind of went from there. We just kept on creating and recording, and then finally we decided, hey, let's go in the studio and record an album. I says, I'm not doing this for nothing. Let's put something down, put it out there, and see what happens.
Sure.
And that's where it started, really.
What studio did you all go to?
The first album was at Soul Haven.
Okay.
In Virginia Beach. The second album was at Master Sound Studio. Rob Olch was the engineer there. At Soul Haven, it was Johnny Terrell.
Uh-huh.
Great engineer, nice little studio he's got there. Rob brings a whole different level to everything.
Sure.
His studio and his engineering and mastering skills are great.
But he's been around for decades, so he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, that's for sure. But that's where, the first album got started at Soul Haven. Worked through the process there, and everything turned out good.
In these trying times, I can't speak. I feel I'm losing my mind. I can't sleep. In these trying times, can't believe what's in front of my two eyes. In these trying times, do your part, be kind, and let your soul shine in these trying times.
And I'll tell you, we were gigging before I left for school, and then before I came back, I said, Billy, we've been talking about doing these songs, so I'm not in a hurry to get back into doing gigs. Let's go record this record. And we did, and we offered our bass player and drummer, and they just weren't into it, so we did it on our own.
So who did you say your bass player and drummer were not into it?
Nope, not at all.
Who'd you get to play bass and drums?
Yeah, the band we were in at the time. Ross King played the bass on the first album, and Jesse Johnson, Jesse James Johnson, by the way, played the drums. Actually, on both albums. Yeah.
Both.
We hired them to play bass and drums on both albums. The bass player and drummer we have now, which we consider permanent members of the band, weren't around at the time. It's not like they were deployed or something like that and couldn't be there. It was that they weren't in the band, and the guys that we did have in the band just weren't interested. So Dan and I just moved on our own, did what we had to do to make it happen.
Good decision.
Yeah, thank you.
So you guys have been together for a while. Your albums have a great feel to them. They have a great rock tradition, but they also have a great acoustic and country tradition. But with all those things over the years and playing together and going through that creative process, do you think that either you've arrived at or approaching a real style of your own? I mean, that to me is the thing that sets things apart for a lot of people. And do you think that you're there yet?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
We've definitely come around to what would you call it? A zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
We've
Yes.
definitely come around to a zone where things are pretty consistent.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Tom, and what I think is cool, man, is like Billy and I have we've gotten into this zone of just he knows me, I know him. You know what I mean? So
I do.
it's just Like literally, I can tell you right now, if something happens, I can literally tell people, Billy's not gonna like that. He is not gonna like that. I can literally that's how close we've gotten. You know what I mean? Like I know he's even with his own playing, I can say, yeah, he's not gonna like it. Guaranteed. He's not gonna like it.
Understood.
He's not gonna like it.
So, do you have some kind of label you could put to it? I know that over the years, the one thing that I've enjoyed as far as my music, I put High Energy Acoustics as my brand. Do you have something that you could actually, words that could describe the brand or the style that you have?
You know, we've been asked that before, and it's, for me, it's kind of hard to put a label on it. It's different from everything else out there you hear for the most part.
Right.
And I don't know, like, you could say country rock, maybe,
Okay.
somewhere around there.
Well, I know that the thing that really, to me, sets the style of the band outside of the songs and the music, there's a real heavy emphasis on vocal and harmony, which a lot of groups really don't place a lot of time, not only in the development of the harmony styles, but also the recording of the harmonies and getting them out there. You guys do that. And I know that that's important to you.
Yeah. You can give Dan credit for that. He loves doing harmonies.
Yeah.
I'm not a big singer. I do some background vocals, but on the recordings, it's all Dan. And I also want to mention Joanna Lynn. She did the vocals on the first and second album and just killed it. She's really good at harmony.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, yeah, she is just phenomenal. We love her to death. But yeah, Dan is the one that really orchestrated the harmonies for the vocals.
Now they're shipping him off to hell. Daddy wishes him well. Mama squeezes tightly around his neck. And she said, boy, you better stay safe. And she said, boy, you better come home. Mama promised to always do my best. He's one damn fine man. He give his life for the red, white, and blue. He take a bullet for his brother. Gives hope to all the others. He's one damn fine man.
Do you have any vocal artists, Dan, that you kind of key to as far as the development of the framework of harmonies that you do?
No, I really don't. But if I was going to pick one, honestly, for what we do, I would honestly say Alton Chains.
Okay.
I would say that because we're not doing smooth harmonies like Boyz II Men or you know what I mean, or NSYNC or these guys. They're like they're no shit. Like they are literally like perfect, right? So
well, it's a highly processed sound for sure.
Right. So for me, it's like if you want to call it something, I would say Alton Chains. Like that's because when we talk about country music, I don't do that at all. I don't do that. But for what we do, for me, like if you listen to our song, please tell me that is not a country song as far as harmony.
Well, I understand. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Playing styles. I mean, I know that I had huge influences on me as far as strumming and finger picking and stuff like that. I'm sure that you guys must have had somebody down the pike that really tripped your trigger as far as the way that they played. So cut loose and let me know who's there on that list.
Yeah, there's a lot of them actually. Wow, it goes way back. Jimmy Page, Robin Trower, Jimi Hendrix. It's a long list, really. Eddie Van Halen, Richie Blackmore. I mean, it's really across the spectrum.
Well, did they just drive your interest, or did you try and imitate what they were doing?
Oh, both, actually. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, both. I learned a lot from learning their songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just took what I learned from that and to use it to create my own. I mean, everybody steals a little bit from someone, right?
Oh, yeah. The sponging. It
Yeah,
happens
exactly.
all the time, man.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's a really long list, but it ranges from everything between, old 70s rock to, current metal and rock and roll and country and blues. Yeah, for sure.
So let me ask you this. When you, in the process of doing all the 2 albums that you've done and the future ones that you're working on right now, what are the songs that really just were the benchmark moments for you, the favorite songs? Those songs that I guess you could say, whether you were just putting them together in the room or when you put them together in the studio, that everything just came together and really you knew that you had something really, really special, maybe for the first time.
All of them. All of them, bro.
I like that.
Literally all of them, bro. Like it, man. I'm telling you, when Billy and I get together and we just start like just getting these songs, man, it's special.
Start getting creative.
It's special.
We put a lot of thought and work into each song. Honestly, we try to make the song, everything in the song fit. Like when I create a lead, I'm not just trying to fill in with a bunch of notes. So I try to make it fit the song. And any rhythms and Dan, with the vocals, the emotion with the vocals, we try to make it fit the song. So yeah, that's why we say all of them.
Oh, I understand completely that I find myself with the songs I'm working on right now, they become my favorites. But then I look back on all the other songs, it's like, yeah, they were all favorites. I mean, there's sometimes it's just something that just sticks out, as far as the development and the evolution of your music and so forth. So I know that you guys aren't performing or gigging right now. Not too many people are, considering the COVID restrictions and so forth. Maybe that'll open up a little bit with the warmer weather and the outdoor venues and more people getting vaccinated and all the rest of that. But as far as public performances in general, how important are they in terms of your overall musical life? Or are they, if they are important, if you had a place to play, what would you be your favorite playing spot, your favorite venue?
The live performances are definitely important for us. It's something that we really enjoy the most out of it, and unfortunately get to do the least throughout the year. And a place, gosh, I don't know. I know South Beach Grill is a lot of fun to play there.
Yeah, it is.
Charity's really great. Yeah, with support. Yeah, but some of the newer venues that's opened up over the past few years, like Elevation 27. What's that other place over in Hampton? I forgot the name of it.
Vanguard,
yeah, that and the Norva. We would love to start playing those venues. We haven't yet, but yeah, we would love to.
Well, I know that military deployments, definitely have an influence on that. When do you see the next chance that everybody's going to be in the same spot at the same time, where you can maybe pull something like this off?
Hopefully soon. That's all I can say. Honestly, I can't give like specifics, but hopefully soon.
So, do you? Is it just like the uncertainty of the deployment thing, or what?
Yep.
I hear you. So let me ask you this: the recording aspects and the performing aspects are important. To me, I've always liked to try and interject the idea of the business of music, which is licensing and making sure that you're connected to all the performance, the PROs and the sound exchanges and so forth.
Yeah, for sure.
Are you all into that at all?
You have to be if you're, an indie musician, basically, if you're supporting yourself. We're signed up with BMI. We were self-published. We don't have a publisher. We submit our own copyrights.
Do you guys go with Harry Fox Agency, or what now is the MC? Let's see, it's the I'm trying to remember myself. Is that they've taken Harry Fox and Sound Exchange and put all that stuff together so that basically musicians can all of their royalties, whether it's from playing or having their music played digitally or whatever, can come together. So basically, that you're right. If you're an independent, you have to be, in touch with those kinds of things, because getting your music out, by whatever means you do to get on the streaming services is one thing, but making sure you get paid in case somebody uses one of your songs, in a soundtrack or in a commercial or something like that, that's a whole different ballgame.
Oh yeah, well, we're definitely open, for that kind of thing too. Hell, even if they want to have it as elevator music, it's an income stream. So yeah.
Sure it is. I mean, even like, with Radio SEVA, every time somebody's songs are played, they are legally required to make sure that every single time a song is played, that all of the basic music, I guess you could say, royalty operations and PROs are notified on a regular, if not weekly, quarterly basis. That's the law. So, the thing is that, the more people can actually hear your music, the better chances you are of getting royalties or getting some kind of input. And also the more chance you have of actually getting, into things like Sirius and other things like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that's where we really appreciate what you do for local musicians.
Well,
and from our perspective, playing as much of our music as you can, we really do appreciate that very much.
Well, you guys are very popular on the station. There's no doubt about it. And people send me emails and they talk to me on the phone, especially close friends who know what this whole journey with Radio SEVA has been all about. And they let me know who they like. And your name comes up more times than not. I can tell you that much.
Oh, no kidding. That's great to hear. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no problem. I've been trying as best I can to have special music hours. So basically, you guys are in the rock and acoustic hours. And that, that has an awful lot of airtime as far as the regular primetime source of the radio broadcasting during the day. So it's all good, works out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we're almost out of time. We like to keep these things to about a half hour, actually a little bit more. But people need to know exactly where to find you, where to find your music, how to check out and see when you all are going to be playing, which I'm going to try and make a point of making sure I can make it out if things are safe enough. Where can they actually find out more about your music and the band itself?
Well, they can go to danjarboe.com. It's our website. We keep it as updated as we can. We're on all the download and streaming sites.
Excellent.
And we're on YouTube as well.
Yeah, and Facebook at Dan Jarboe Band, Instagram Dan Jarboe Band, all that stuff.
So if you hit if you type in the Dan Jarboe music, you're going to be able to get a few links that you can go to.
Exactly.
Sure.
If you literally just type Dan Jarboe, you're going to get some stuff.
Yeah,
you're going to get some stuff, man.
I'll tell you what I tell my kids: Google it.
Yeah.
Well, listen, man, this has been fun. I've been wanting to get you guys on the podcast for a long, long time. You're episode 14. Just so people will know, as soon as we get through post-production, we're going to put it out so people can listen to it for 2 or 3 days in the 12 and 9 o'clock, SEVACAST slots on a regular daily basis. But also, as soon as it's post-produced, we're going to have it on the archive page. So if they want to go and listen to it anytime, they can go and listen to yours or any of the other, SEVACAST that we produced so far. And this has been great. I've talked to Dan several times on the phone, but first time I had a chance to have an extended conversation with you, Billy, and I've enjoyed it an awful lot.
Thank you. Same here. Really appreciate it. And we'll be sure to promote the podcast and your station.
Well, thank you, man. We can use all the, actually things are growing pretty slowly but surely. The fans of Radio Seva, which is a special place for the people who are really interested in listening, has grown almost 100-fold in the last 3 or 4 months. And,
that's great.
And so, yeah, it is. I mean, so people are starting to share and enjoy the music and get into it more, which is, makes me feel great because that's the reason why I got into it to begin with, so people can hear our stuff.
Yeah, you play a lot of great music on there, man. I listen to you all the time, and there's a lot of good artists that you have on your show.
Oh, man, that Southeast Virginia, people just got to realize that this is where it's happening. Don't go looking all over the place for music. You can find it right here. There's no doubt about it. And a wide variety of genres. I mean, I know I'm on my soapbox and plugging, and it sounds like an ad, but it's the truth. People just really need to understand that, the Dan Jarboe Band is a great band and one of many great bands that you can actually hear on a regular basis, 24/7 for free, right here in your own backyard. So
thank you.
Hey,
that's my plug for the day.
Hey, Tom, I got one more thing, bro.
Sure.
What'd you do after you pulled in Nazareth?
Well, I was kind of feeling half-assed dead, but
Dude, we're about to play that song right now. Live.
I look forward to having that face-to-face conversation and getting to know each other a little bit better.
Yeah, we do as well. Thank you, Tom.
All right, brother.
Well, listen, y'all, just take good care.
You too, buddy.
You too.
Check out Radio Seva by going to the Seva Sound homepage and clicking Radio Seva, or to live365.com and search Radio Seva. If you have any questions, comments, or topic ideas for SEVACAST or for Tom and Alton, go to sevasound.com and click on the Contact tab.